Worshipper get down the rock stairs, worn out sleek by millions of pilgrims above the centuries, downward in the cave, the place Christians trust Jesus was unborn. Frankincense fills the little rock chamber, that is considerably warm by the numerous of candles. An Armenian apostolate clergyman begins to execute holy rituals as old prayers reflect in balance. Upper floor in a various chamber, many decades of Hellenic Orthodoxy worshipper get the sacred mystery. And in the following chamber above, a Roman Catholic meeting sings hymns of world. All three denominations stake the homeland of Jesus. Following the definitive pray, regional Christians leave to welcome every some as they include for centuries. They are proud to be descendants of the at first Christians. The various society has jammed it out via warfare, hunger and illness. The issue currently, say believer leaders, is if their Palestine society can pull through Israel's many decades-long invasion. Their terror is how the present outcome of Christians of the area could keep the earth out of a residing chapel. Ours largest problem is to hold them there, says Dad Rami Askarian. The requirement to construct a by the government, a nation, unsameness for the human beings. We pray for how to include world in the nation. Dad Askarian fears his herd could be diminished to tourists and pilgrims in a pair of generations. And Lot Chapel leaders say latter us overseas politics is just manufacturing things worst. While U.S. CEO Donald Trump formally acknowledged Jerusalem as the equity of Israel in a brief speaking at the White's Building recent monthly, the present of his defect CEO Mike Pence, permanent fair over his law arm, was Lot remarked on. How since Pence is an evangelic believer, a term of a society that has length spurred difficult for the joint state to do the proclamation. But for leaders of the believer chapel in the town himself, the ad was met in terror. Growth hate. In December, among accountable Trump was planner to changing Jerusalem's statute. 13 chapel leaders of 13 denominations signed an outdoor email precautionary of irreversible damage to the sacred town if the U.S. executed the changing. Mr. CEO, we include been next, in anxiety, the accountable on the opportunity of change how the joint state understands and deals in the Statute of Jerusalem, recite the declaration they given. We are specific how such a stairs will give enlarged hate, dispute, abuse and affliction in Jerusalem and the sacred earth, driving us further of the purpose of oneness and more profound in the direction devastating department. We ask of you Mr. CEO to assist us all go to more than loving and a final world, that cannot be achieved out of Jerusalem creature for all. Up Trump proclamation, Pence was already planner a travel to the Medium East, to get location fair up Yuletide. Portion of his order of business, he told, would be to assist besieged regional Christians, and attention on ease efforts for hunted sectarian sexual minorities. But following Trump done his Jerusalem ad, regional chapel leaders modified their minds, and cancelled their meetings in him. A voice on tax reformation in the U.S. convention excited Pence's office space to declare how his travel would be detained before January. Ours terror is of America down. There is no denial how Christians about the Medium East person the hazard of harassment. The terrorism team, ISIS, has annihilated Lot Christians, as so as Muslim in Iraq, Syria, Egypt and Libya. In Lot Medium East countries, Christians are not given equivalent rights to Muslim. So, it is breathtaking to listen one of Jerusalem's highest-ranking believer figures announce how the largest press risk cladding Christians in the Medium East is not of a terrorism team, but quite the White's Building. The ex-Roman Patriarch of Jerusalem, 84-year-old Michel Sabah, says it was the destabilization of the area, resultant of the war in Iraq in 2003, how led to the growth in harassment of Christians of groups love ISIS. Drive off Christians of the sacred earth, say regional priesthood, is the perceivable concessional treat the U.S. shows in the direction Israel, and the invasion of Palestine lands, that tool restrictions on the lives, movements and opportunities of Palestine Christians, as so as Muslim. Israel, that blames Palestine leaders for the fail of the world trial and says safety considerations necessitate its continuing war present in the Western banking, says its recording on Christian is sample. We wish to lift our guys. Israel's main secretary Benjamin Netanyahu done his instance newly in a Yuletide communication, disputing how Israel's Christians delight equivalent opportunities. I'm proud how Israel is a nation wherever not just do Christians pull through but they flourish, since we trust in the amity amongst human beings and we defend the rights of all to worshipping in the sacred shrines of their different confessions, Netanyahu told in the live video communication. Moraine Buteau, a Roman Catholic of Bethlehem, sees things otherwise, and trouble how youthful human beings are more looking overseas for a superior lifetime. Occasionally we sense love, we can't do whatever we fair hold suspended on our earth, she says. We wish to lift our guys there, yet largest of our loved ones include leftward the nation since of the policy position. Sabahu has a chunk of consultation to the newcomer defect CEO on how he can assist the sacred earth's Christians. Us politics must changing in the Medium East, says Sabahu. If really the us authority is believer, go behind to the command of loving. You loving Israel. How's really nice. But you should as well loving the Palestinians if thou re believer. Jesus told, loving all.